Hello, and welcome to yet another exciting webinar brought to you by Open Networks. In today's webinar, we are going to be covering a much talked about topic in organizations and businesses. The topic happens to be, what is the big deal about data analytics and why you as a business and organization should consider it or explore more and more depth into what data can offer you and offer your business in terms of growth and scale. Today, I'll be co-hosting this with Heidi. Myself, Chester, and Heidi are both qualified and certified Google Cloud architects. Heidi is also our current resident data engineer, also fully qualified and certified as a Google Cloud professional data engineer. In today's coverage, we're going to be asking, what is the big deal about data analytics? And hopefully answering the questions that are most prominent in today's organizations and businesses. These questions are, what do you mean by data? What data do we use for analytics? Ways to acquire data? What do we mean by data insights? What does data analytics mean to your business? Where can data analytics take your business in the future? Securing that data and transforming your business, and where the data analytics you acquire can help you with that. This is a journey that we hope you embark on with us. And if you have any questions, please pop them into the chats and we'll be sure to get to them closer to the end of the webinar. So let's talk data. First off, we need to set the plane. Data analytics is often thought only in the marketing sense. These are from platforms like Google Ads, AdWords, Analytics 360, Facebook Business, etc. This is a form of data analytics, but in this webinar, we're talking data in general. And the trend we're finding is there is so much unused, valuable data that is not realized to its potential or the value an organization can get from it. So what is data? Data by definition are facts, statistics, or items of information collected through observation. In a more technical sense, data is a set of qualitative or quantitative variables about one or more persons or objects. When we have data, we have a valuable resource to turn intelligence into profit. Profit can be measured and analyzed in itself, but in today's webinar, we're going to explain how and why businesses should consider data analytics throughout their organization. And the main concept to keep in mind is how we get the data and how we get insight or value out of that data. The first step in this is how we acquire data and how we transform that data into useful or valuable insights. So what do we mean by acquire? Term that's been thrown around: obtaining data, acquiring data, accumulating data. We mean the ways in which the data is ingested or obtained for use. There are many ways to obtain data, and here are a few examples. First silo of data is the survey data type. These are generated through online polls, forum discussions, or social media platforms. We then have a tracked amount of data, and these can generate through ad trackers, website interactions, traffic monitoring tools, platforms like Google Ads 360 or Facebook Business. We then have transaction data. Now, these are the most general and most used data types. This is data you use in your day-to-day operations, forming databases, silos, generating your sales data, current warehouse in history or archive, and is the most unused type of data because it is normally left at rest. The last one is response data. And this is data we generate through experience. This is communicated responses or feedback. After transaction ratings, business rating publications based on interactions with staff or public. Data insight and analysis is the process of inspecting, cleansing, and transforming the data into models with a goal of discovering useful information, developing information conclusions, and providing information supporting decision making. So when we do interact with these data, we make sense of the obtained raw data and transform it and make it visually representation of the data analyzed, giving us a deeper understanding of what insights that data could offer us. These data normally answer questions or give insight into direction. So some examples of these data sites or insights. Most commonly is the sales and marketing data, as mentioned before, and how they offer actionable insights. So first, let's talk about how insight is generated through platforms that are built to not only advertise what they are offering, but also follow and report on the trends and forecasts and information gathered through those interactions. We have the adaptation, and this is the event probability. Based on analytics of raw data to structured and understood data, teams and decisions can be made around how to approach problems or questions pertaining to your product offering, your organization, or the data as a whole. These two factors leads to an action in which could be seen in terms of plans to implement promotions, maybe actions against items on demand, or actions creating awareness around promoting your data. The next example I have is more of a corporate advantage. And this kind of information is that supports or drives decision making. Usually with an operational transaction, a sales data, or historic knowledge gained from previous transactions. These develop into insights and analytics at a strategic engagement level, which in turn promote growth, acquisition in new spaces, or promote internal process. Now, before I wrap up on this first segment, I'm going to hand over to Heidi for a more in-depth look into data analytics and the world around the data. Off to you, Heidi.
Thanks, Chester. Hi. So I'm Heidi Crow, a data engineer from Open Networks. So as you can see from that slide, what is data? When did we start recording? Well, at the very beginning of time of humanity. And we did it on cave walls, but it could be saved and relooked at. That is data. Anything that can be saved and relooked at is data, and we can analyze that data. Now, there are a few topics that I'll be discussing in this webinar. Data, what is it used for? Can your data be monetized? Yes, definitely it can. Do you have a single source of truth? Now, that's worth spending a moment talking about, this phrase, single source of truth. As you will hear it again and again, data getting collected from different sources, social media, your accounts department, your support tickets. A single source of truth brings that all together to build a full picture. That's an art too, in making sure that a single source is the truth. For example, a client's name might be spelled differently, and so it's not adjusted when you submit all that client's details, because over there it's spelled John and over there it's spelled Jon, and you need to know that it's the same person. So with analytics, we can, so that when you look at your spreadsheet, you can have John's results and not two John's results and half. Now, in data analytics, we bring all the data into a data warehouse. So it's one source of truth that you pull all your reports from. there are multiple different stages in transitioning the data, and I'll be going through all the different products that allow you and that you can get better with. Thanks, Anna. Your data is being spread everywhere. You get stale attachments in emails. Somebody has an extra spreadsheet there and there. Now, if we bring it all into that one central warehouse or central depository, then it is your single source. The other one we're looking at is your data safe? Now, Chester will be looking at that later in the presentation. Oh, by the way, I pinched that picture off Facebook. So, is your data safe? Now, I talked about pictures. Why do I love data analytics? Well, for me, it's putting a puzzle together to form a true picture. I love stories, the imagery that it conjures up. And I find that data analytics does that. It takes puzzle pieces and joins them together to reveal a picture. And that joining and the complexity of that joining is what I love about data analytics. Finding the right fit and that you can ask that data questions. It gives you a visual representation of your company. So I Googled, what is data analytics? And this is what I got. It's data management, data mining, statistical analysis, and data presentation. Data analytics allows you to gather your data from different sources and store it in a central repository. A data warehouse is what we call it, creating a single source of truth, which I talked about, where your data can draw its analysis from. Now, BigQuery is Google's flagship analytical database, which allows you to store huge amounts of data and run complex queries in a matter of minutes. We are able to help you as our clients to choose the right products and where to store that and whether you need the power and capacity of BigQuery. We help you by uploading your data into BigQuery or any other database of your choice, and then create a dashboard that gives you, well, for instance, for one of our clients, we uploaded their data into BigQuery, which gave them year-on-year crop yield analysis reports. Before, they could only see the current year they were working in because of the quantity of the data. Now, with a push of a button, their reports could show them last year's, the years before, however many years they have collected the data. BigQuery is very fast, and it separates its computing power from its storage, and it has access to Google's super fast network. And that's why it gives you the power that you need, because it can deliver terabytes of data in seconds directly from storage into compute. It also stores your data in columns rather than rows, which saves you money on your queries because you can use a pay-as-you-go model, and therefore only the columns that you query in that SQL query will you pay for. So why does data analytics help you? Well, it helps you with visionary and strategic decision-making. It helps you guide your team into the future. It assesses better results, improves business process, and ultimately saves you money and makes you money. Well, going back to your picture, the data picture you're building, could show you how your company is doing relative to yesterday, last week, last year, and 20 years ago, capitalizing on customers' purchase patterns, uncovering trends, modes of behavior, customer evolution. A customer who's been with you 20 years, how have they matured? And what about the new kids on the block? How happy are your customers? How can you deliver faster and better products? Okay, so for the retailers out there listening, there is a drastic shortage of size 5 hiking sandals. Now, I know this because I've been going to many stores, so please help me out. There's a search algorithm could fuel systems to deliver size 5 shoes to the right area, my area, Cape Town, at the right time yesterday, to the right customer, me, which will create profits for you and a very satisfied customer, me. It helps you try out new products. Data analytics has a process called A/B testing, which allows you to fail fast and fail forward. You can try new things, new products on a small set of customers and then analyze the results. If it fails, you haven't invested millions and you've learned something to continue and prompt you or change strategies totally. that picture that you're painting could let your sales force, you know how your sales force is doing. One of our clients needed accurate rebate reports. So we built an automated system to take data from their accounts package, fed into BigQuery and the analytical database, and produce dashboards so that their sales rep could walk into a customer meeting, open their laptop, and tell the client how much money they'd spent and how much money they could save if they went up to the next tier. So what was a process of days of the sales rep phoning the accounts department, the reports being pulled and then emailed to them, was shortened into just a click of a button. Your sales rep definitely looks a mighty lot better in that picture. Now, with guiding your team, it reduces time from data collection to action, delivers insights into streamings of your operation, data on where your trucks are in the field, what your travel patterns are, time between stops, how your conveyor belt is going, and how you can improve those processes. Now, making money, it saves you money by minimizing your logistic expenses. You can use automation. You can automate your jobs through artificial intelligence. You can also, all that data that you've been collecting, you can sell it or rent it out to other companies in need. And that creates marketing insights, and it can fuel machine learning data sources. So all in all, it improves business processes through automation and predictive analysis. So things to consider about data analytics. Several companies face similar building blocks, and we've helped people all over and over again. The things to consider are accessibility, usability, security, and compatibility. Accessibility, where is your data being stored? In the cloud, on-prem, which will allow you access 24/7. Usability, can your data be shared within your organization and outside your organization? And are you protecting that sensitive data? For the clients who are working on a single source of truth, there are lots of reports showing different out of date and stale data. By bringing it all together, we make it far more usable. Security. So are the right people seeing the right data? And are you being able to cover up that column that has that, how much, for instance, how much are your managers being paid? Now, you don't want your different managers to see that. You want only your director to see that. So you can cover up for the right reasons. Are you POPI compliant? Google has a unique way of dealing with security compared to other cloud providers. And Chester will be speaking about that later. Compatibility. Do your data analytics tools talk to each other? Now, Open Networks is quite Google-centric. Why? Because it offers managed services, fast connectivity, and security. It offers pay-as-you-go models. Now this one I'm proud of. It's the cleanest cloud out there. And it offers integration so that you can work with the tools that you already have on-prem or in the cloud, and we can integrate with it. So Open Networks is here to help you find the right tools to fit to your business model, whether it be Google, hybrid cloud, which is on-prem and in the cloud, or multi-cloud. It meets you where your needs are. Now this here is an example of one of my colleagues. They showed a customer using BigQuery against Oracle, which is a very powerful database. They took 1 week's work of data. They ran a complex SQL query, which took 6 hours to run, and its efficiency was good. Then he showed BigQuery, 6 weeks of data. That same complex query was able to process that 6 weeks, which is 6 times more data in 30 minutes, which produced 48 times better efficiency. So I have compiled a little metaphors for how your data actually journeys down the path. So you've got data sources. I've chosen food here as your data sources because I've tried to make it a human organism. You extract and you prep your food as you prepare it to make your meal, and then you chew it, you eat it. You make it into bite-sized portions that can be used efficiently. You load and store that in your stomach. so that you can wait until you need it, and then you can push it out to your brain and your muscles to empower your decision-making of your company. And that helps create the eyes and the hands of your organization so that you can use them, use that insight, use that food, and fuel your company further. The secret to kick-ass data analytics is setting up the correct data path. Now, if you use that same model, your data sources, here we've got human data sources that are out there all the time. You as a human are a data source. Your trucks, where are they? How fast are they going? Are they delivering on time? Your cashier, when your things get scanned through the tills, is it being analyzed in the background so that you can immediately fill up that space in your shop? Your cell phone, there is so, as you know, I'm always on my cell phone. So that data is being collected and used and empowering companies out there. Now, you on your premises or in the cloud will currently have databases full of data. We want access to that data so we can put it in that central depository and create those reports you want. And you have full trust that that is the only single source of truth. You've got the same data in spreadsheets. Let's get that all up into that central data warehouse. You can use the Internet of Things for your scanners, your sensors out there to stream up data into the cloud, and then you can use it. And as Chester mentioned, you can use Facebook, AdWords, get that marketing data up. You can extract and transform and prep that data using PubSub, data prep, or data flow, or we as Open Networks can write you a script, which we did for one of our clients, to automate a job flow to get it straight up using a script into BigQuery to spit it out into their reports. You load and store. Now, Google has many different options for you to store your data. Here are just 3 of them, which is Cloud SQL, which is a managed MySQL or SQL Server database. And now it's managed, so you don't have to worry about the architecture and updating it each time. Cloud storage, now that's for your unstructured data, your pictures, your scans. You can store it all in there. And then you can use API tools to interpret it. And Cloud Spanner. Now, our big analytical tool is BigQuery, which is also a database in itself. So you can store it straight into BigQuery. And through BigQuery, you can run machine learning products on it, or you can access the AI platform and the APIs involved in that. And then deliver. You want it on, open up your laptop, and there in your Looker dashboards or your Data Studio dashboards or even a sheet, you can see the information that you need to empower your company going forward. So this also here is a model that we used. We were quite excited. So we created a project about airplanes, flight airplanes, and we put Raspberry Pis in Cape Town, Johannesburg, and London, which read from transformers the information from the airplane, its height, altitude, what its call sign was, and we ingested all of it, continual stream, up into BigQuery. Can you imagine all the planes that are flying into London? Well, were about 2 years ago, much less now. And we streamed it all up into BigQuery, and we're able to produce a website with airplanes flying all over. We put a heat map on, so the red ones were very low. And you could see from looking at the screen that they were about to land, or the blue ones were very high. The key factors when we had a lot of fun on that project, by the way. Key factors to look at when choosing the tools to do your job. Do they scale? Are they a managed service? What is the pricing model? Optimizing size, flexibility flexibility, can it be used with other tools? Is your data structured or unstructured? Like I said, with databases, we have a range that you can choose from. And there you need to take into consideration latency. What are the costs? Is it relational or non-relational data that you'll be using? Do you need ops or no ops? Reporting, so that you can see, excuse me. Okay, this is where I'm actually very excited because Looker is the new kid on the block. And it has been in process for about 3 years, but it's a game changer. Taking BI tools from being a tool into a platform, integrating machine learning and workflow automation. So Looker is definitely something to look out for. we can help you create pipelines that suit you. Scripting, like I mentioned, we did for one client that can get you straight into that database and out the reports, or you can use the tools that are there if you need to stream or batch upload your data. Artificial intelligence. Now, this is stats on steroids, a process that learns from past interaction and feeds and learns back into the analysis for the next iteration. So let me repeat that. It learns, it takes an iteration, it feeds it in, gets information back again, changes what it needs to, and then spits it out, gets information back in again, learns from it, and spits it out, which is very human. Deloitte estimates that AI-driven platforms can help businesses reduce unplanned downtime by up to 30% and reduce maintenance costs by 20 to 30%. That's saving you money. Using API powered by Google API technologies, you have access to speech to text, natural language, which gleans intent, and it analyzes sentiment. Dialogue flow, which is a conversational bot, it can translate up to 100 different languages. It has handwritten recognition. So if you have forms or letters that you need to analyze, you can use this API. Search engines are out and search engines and voice-activated assistants are beginning to understand regular human speech and are improving day to day. And they save you time creating a virtual personal assistant, which you already are using with like Google Assist or Alexa. Now, we go back to me, of course, which is those hiking sandals. If we use those APIs, the Vision API could analyze this webinar, this recording, and use the natural language API to glean vocal intent that I really want those shoes, and combine metadata on where my company's address is, and where their nearest store is, and automate an order delivery form. And hey presto, the next time I walk past my local store, there will be a size 5 hiking boot. So this will help both me, a customer, and you earning your money. Now, with machine learning, you can add an intelligent layer to your data. Examples of AI in the field. Google Cloud and ZSL trialed this technology in a reserve in Cameroon, helping endangered animals, identifying the sound of a gunshot and thus hunters' hotspots, and were able to send out their rangers there to stop it. They also are taking it further by identifying humans talking and human walking so that they can get those rangers there sooner and faster. Another API technology is the Blue Box, currently in a prototype phase. It won the 2020 International James Dyson Award. It's a homemade biometric breast cancer testing device that uses urine samples and an artificial intelligence algorithm to detect early stages of cancer. Well, I'm definitely very, very, very excited about artificial intelligence and have enjoyed the projects that we've been on. One of the major things that we found with artificial intelligence, and when our customers ask us to use it, the first present that we give them is by actually analyzing the data they have, actually taking the processes that are in the individual workers and structure it so that it can be an automated equations that can be used over and over and over again, which is business analytics. Now, add on top of that machine learning, and whoo! Well, that's enough for me. I'm heading back to Chester.
Thanks, Heidi. Thanks for that really, really interesting in-depth look in our understanding of what data analytics is and what it means to an organizational business who don't know that they have the kind of data on hand. Now, in this segment, we're going to cover questions we found in organizations that are rarely asked, but are considered to be the most valuable in growing the understanding of the data in an organization. So firstly, we're going to ask the question, what does data analytics mean to your business? So firstly, do you use data in your business to generate insight, or is it purely operational? If you use data for insight, does your business learn from itself and transform it into relevant analytics. There is a misconception that data analytics pertains only to marketing and is always treated as a siloed operation. But data is everywhere and means something different to each part of a business or team. Data can drive growth or insights, which can feed process or understanding. So to answer these questions and looking more in depth, what does the data analytics mean to your business? You in turn need to go and understand what is the data you have accumulated over all the years of operation and what is being used. Find out what's not being used and draw value out of it. Where can data analytics take your business? So the data and the insight you gain from data analytics can be used in multiple ways. What we see more too often is that teams generate insights for their use only, whereas it could be beneficial for multiple areas in your business or teams to generally draw useful information from already obtained or archived data. Most organizations are not even aware that these statistics are already collected, analyzed, and available for use. What we've found more and more are teams and departments that are shared on these general informations benefit through productivity, shared understanding, and can collaborate on the data and its outcome to promote more growth within an organization. Securing your data. Heidi mentioned earlier on how crucial and important securing is. So securing data is complex, and it's often not performed to the standards required by data protection compliance or compliance authorities. Information and access management, in conjunction with service accounts rather than people, offer more robust operation and introduce fault tolerance. Using tools within your provider offering like Google Cloud, tools like DLP, which stands for Data Leak Prevention, or Cloud Armor, by implementing rules and policies, are preventative measures rather than needing to take reactive actions, needing investigation, downtime, and loss of income. Providers like Google, as you see in the diagram, perform encryption by default. Now, these cloud providers have the technology and the means to secure the data when used and architected correctly. When applying these kinds of encryptions, adhering to the most strictest compliance standards we follow today, you can achieve the sound peace of mind that your data is secure. In enabling data redaction, for instance, for personal protection, provides preventative standards rather than reactive measures. So securing your data can be simple. Tools like Google make use of a shared identity service, like those used in your everyday login screens, where single sign-on authentication has several mechanisms to secure itself before even given access to the data. These services work in conjunction with cloud and best practices to offer an extension to computing service accounts. So computing service accounts are the new way of having intellectual compute services interact with one another rather than having a human in the middle. With BI tools, transforming your data with analytics, we find more links to data insights through visualization. We use purpose-built tools that mine and analyze the data. We have tools that can give statistics based on machine learning or artificial intelligence that's baked in from development. So where can open networks help? And where has open networks gone that can offer more understanding of what data analytics is? So first to mention, open networks has a staff complement of trained and experienced engineers that can assist in molding data, architecting things like ingestion, which a lot of organizations struggle with. Acquiring data can be difficult when an architecture does not meet an informative baseline. Open Networks partners with an organization to transform insights. We support and work to understand that there is a constant change in analytical understanding. And we try to stay abreast of these changes and keep most relevant tools on offer. So talking tools for big data analytics, there are many tools out there. There are many agnostic tools that talk to all cloud or some cloud. Choosing the right tool can be difficult. Choosing the right process and architecture can help a process along in identifying your business and meeting your business where you are. Open Networks is a Google Cloud Premier partner. What this means is our staff are trained and have acquired professional certification to prove our best-in-class service. Things mentioned by Heidi, for instance, big data through analytical programs like BigQuery are very, very undermined and not used to their full extent. And let me explain. BigQuery is immensely scalable. The power and computing capability behind BigQuery can crunch terabytes in seconds and petabytes in minutes. It's also a horizontally scalable database, which in industry is a game changer. There are large-scale ETL processors. There are immense amounts of tools that cloud providers can offer, and choosing the right solution to serve you where you are can be difficult. From the ingesting the data, storing the data, analyzing and visually representing business intelligence through tools that can talk to one another is key. Heidi mentioned a tool earlier on called Looker. This is a game-changing tool. This tool can work independently. This tool can modernize business intelligence and analytics as a base, which means it just wants the data. Once it has the data, sorting it, modeling it, putting machine learning behind it will start to integrate an experience model from the intelligence baked within. The nice thing about things like Looker, and there are many competing products out there, but what we've liked about Looker is it has workflows that meet you where you are. Looker for Analytics can help you in your journey. And the way it does that is it looks at the data source, so where we're siloing the data, centralizing the data in an analytics platform like BigQuery to do very fast-paced and enhanced analytics on the data. It then comes in the middle, and it uses its business intelligence and machine learning tool sets to understand your data. The nice thing about Looker is it already has trained models. It has trained understanding of how to treat data. It integrates and reports seamlessly. It introduces workflows to meet you where you are. And most importantly, it is there for custom application. If you want to integrate your visualizations into more sites external to Looker or cloud, it has the functionality to embed and offer you more stringent ways to secure the data and represent it where you need it. Looker for Analytics results in many, many different industries with more templates and already acquired industry knowledge, visualizing your data and standard builds are at your fingertips. Now, before this sounds like a Looker sales pitch, which I'm sure it does, let's take some questions. Let's understand where we are, where data analytics is, and have we answered the question, what is the big deal about analytics?
Okay, so I see that there is one question there. Can I only connect to one Google tool? Can I use the tools individually? That's basically the question. And yes, you can. You can use each one of those tools individually. We can create tools for you, like I mentioned with scripting as well. So you're not bought in. Second question, is your data secure on the Google Cloud platform? Definitely. Chester, would you like to take that further?
Sure. So the one thing to know about data analytics and your data model is making sure when you make use of your data, you architect its connection with security in mind at all times. When myself or Heidi or any one of our engineer colleagues look at an architecture, security is the first thing that comes up. So we make use of tools within Google Cloud because Google Cloud is our preferred platform. And we make use of the tools like DLP, which is data leak prevention. These are APIs that are extremely robust, can integrate in many different ways, and can offer a lot more in terms of preventing data leak rather than detecting and reporting and then having to investigate and action responses. It's always key to be preventative rather than reactive, and that's where we architect.
And all our tools are monitored and logged. So as the person using your platform or your tool and using it in the correct way, you can go back and make sure what happened, when, what, and what time. So
Definitely.
the next question is, does Open Networks provide training on Google Cloud? Yes, definitely. One of our clients, we actually created a whole system for them. We created a script that uploaded their data, created the reports they needed, and through BigQuery, and then we actually skilled up their BI team to take it over and take it further.
One thing to know about Open Networks is we partner with our customers. We are not like a general consultancy where we quote, deliver and disappear. We partner, maintain, and follow our customers' journey to their success. We're always there. We're always asking. We're always inquiring how the data is affecting, and have you learned and have you adjusted to new data standards? So one thing to know is the kind of service Google that Open Networks offers through the Google Cloud platform, and it can actually be agnostic, is it's a journey that we want to go on with a customer. If you need training, we would train you on what we've done for you and what we can do for you. A lot of organizations don't realize the tools that are at their disposal. And a lot of our jobs are to make people aware that some complex actions don't need to be that complex. By architecting simplicity in ingesting data or pipeline tools to obtain the data, we tend to take a lot of the manual process and a lot of the stress out of the knowledge and the knowledge sets that are on hand.
And nicely put, Chester. Another question is backups and archive storage. Yes, Google definitely offers those, and many tools, and even tools within your database. There is with BigQuery, I was looking up the terminology, it's called time travel. So it actually automatically keeps 7 days worth of data so that you can time travel back within those 7 days if you need to access the data that was 2 or 3 days ago. You can also back up those systems continually. Besides time travel, every day you can use backups. And then every part of our platform has backups. Chester, any more on that?
The one thing that drove Open Networks to seek the provider like Google Cloud out was the continuous involvement in innovation, where Google Cloud was one of the very first companies that went pure cloud And it's a term that's thrown around a lot. And you get situations like hybrid cloud and hosted cloud, but pure cloud is everywhere and anywhere. And Google does an amazing job at innovating tools like automatic snapshots, time-based recovery snapshots, and services that offer more than just backup, but a means to recover successfully. Some of the backup terminologies, as you guys would know, is what is the time to restore and what is the amount that it's cost the company to wait to restore. Also, there is the other nuance of, does my restore actually work? Now, with Google's tool sets, and you'll see this in a lot of their product offerings like Workspace, if you were to access a doc, you would actually get revision history on the doc from mostly within its inception all the way up until each change stage. Now, Google offers this in many of its products and platforms, and it's simply enabling a service or being aware that the service is there. So when we talk about the backup and archival, it's all about architecting and implementation. Are you deploying the right services for use? Or are you even aware those services are there? Which we actually find a lot, funny enough, is a lot of our customers don't realize that the tools are embedded, the tools are there, and they just need to be enabled.
And we're here to help you with that. Another question that we have is data better on-prem or in the cloud? Well, using data in the cloud, it's accessible 24/7, all the time, from anybody in the world. All your employees, the people that you need access to, they can just open a laptop and have access to it if they have the right permissions and the right security. So I would definitely go with in the cloud, but our tools also, if you want to keep it on-prem, they do integrate with your on-prem systems. So you don't have to move it to the cloud if you don't want to. We can still help you, or you can move it to the cloud, and you can move it to the cloud in different stages. Yeah. Chester, anything on that?
That's actually quite an interesting subject that comes up a lot. So on-prem versus cloud, and what is cloud's actual service offering? And Heidi touched on this earlier in the presentation, and that is its reach. Now, Google Cloud is around the world. Most of today's infrastructure and network delivery is actually owned by Google Cloud. Now, where this is a key thing is when your operations are over the ecosystem in which you host, it actually delivers in what we call priority. So having things reach services should always be the main concern, is whether on-prem or cloud. Can your on-prem successfully handle fault? And can it recover from fault? Whereas in cloud, there are systems and architectures in a network of ecosystems that handle this for you. This actually comes down to where cloud is more relevant in something called managed service offerings. Heidi touched on a bit earlier on things like Cloud SQL. So Cloud SQL is a managed service. Google wants you to care and worry about your data, while they worry about the infrastructure, the uptime, and everything needed to make that system work. They worry about the deliverables and offer extremely high SLAs to support it. So at the end of the day, your question on on-prem versus cloud comes down to what the business needs are and where you can handle fault tolerance.
Another question we have is, what is Data Studio? Well, Data Studio is a reporting tool. It's actually license free, which is amazing. It is, I've worked in it a lot. I'm very impressed. It's also very usable. So we can train up your current employees to use it for a very fast uptake, or you can go out and explore it yourself. And it has access to so many different data sources that you can pull your data from, both from the databases we've talked about, also from all the advertising tools that are out there, Facebook, LinkedIn, and also other databases that are out there. Anything else on that, Chester?
No, I think you've covered it 100%. I think we've got time for one more question. And let me get to that. We do our own reporting on our company finance tool. How will Google benefit my team if we consider moving our reporting and dashboarding needs to Google? So this is actually a really cool discussion. And this is where Heidi and I have the most fun is with the tool sets we use. So there are multiple tools within Google Cloud that we like to use. We're also a bit more agnostic than just using the Google Cloud tools. But things like choosing the right platform for use. So yes, you may be reporting on your own internal tools. And there might be other tools out there that offer similar or better servicing. For instance, we spoke a little bit about Looker today in today's presentation. And Looker is a incredible enterprise-grade reporting tool with ML baked in and templates and modeling and developer tools at your fingertips. There are also other tools that can enhance your basic financial reporting needs, things like Data Studio. And we love Data Studio's toolset. It came late into the industry. It offers great experience for even entry-level users. And it's got a service offering very unique to cloud-based users. Heidi, would you like to touch on that a bit?
Sorry, I got distracted. Say that again.
So,
basically, I'm kidding. So Looker, Data Studio, Sheets, every tool that is out there, which database that you use, how you pipe it up, it's specifically what you as your company need. And that's where we as Open Networks can partner with you in finding which tool to use. Because it might be very, very good, the tool, but you don't need so much complexity. You need something quite simple. You need something that's really, really fast, and you need, or it doesn't matter. You can batch up at the end of the day your data, or you need streaming the whole time. So again, all those questions will help us help you choose the right tool. And we'd like to train you up on those tools so you feel empowered and in control. And that's my say on it.
Thank you. I just want to thank everybody for attending today's webinar, and please look out for the next exciting installments on the webinar series. There are amazing topics and amazing questions that are answered in all of these webinars. If you have any further questions, please reach out to our teams in the chat or on the emails on our website, and we'll be happy to contact you, support you, and meet you where you are. Thank you very much.
Sorry, Chester, on our website, we also have customer stories. So you can go and read up about other customers and how they've experienced Google and us, Open Networks.
Definitely. Hope you enjoyed this series. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Ciao, bye.
Bye, guys.